Holy crap, Landmark is a game now. Well, to be fair, it's always been a game, but now it's a game with something to do for we non-artistic people. Do I need to remind you all of the shack? For those of you who weren't around a year ago, I built a shack, thereby stretching the limits of my creativity. So naturally, I got bored in Landmark after a month or so of playing, back when the alpha first arrived in February. And looking at the server's populations, I'm guessing I'm not the only one. You know, I remember a time when there was absolutely no land to claim whatsoever because the servers were so full. Huh. I wonder what happened. Oh, maybe it's because you put in a cash store into your alpha game after only 2 months, when people had already paid $60 to get into your game, instead of putting in something interesting that might keep people around, like, I don't know, combat! But I digress. Honestly, it's because there just wasn't much to do. You could build, or gather, or build, or gather, or build, or gather. Combat wasn't in the game yet, which sucked considering it was one of the selling points of the game when I bought into alpha for $100 before it launched. Yeah, I'm still bitter. And what's the moral of this story? Never buy into early access alphas or betas, because you never know what you're gonna get. Although this philosophy might single-handedly remove all the games on Steam. I'll have to think on that one. Anyway, finally, combat is here. Granted, it's actually been in the game since late August, but only in PvP form. Now it's in PvE form. So, was it worth the wait? Well, I'm actually having a pretty good time with it. Although I must say that crafting some of these weapons can be a bit grindy. To craft a weapon, you need 6 essences, which can only be obtained by disassembling equipment at this station. You can get the equipment needed for disassembling by killing monsters, which have a fairly low drop rate on equipment. So get ready for some mindless slaughter. Although you are killing that plant from the Little Shop of Horrors, so I guess you're doing the world a favor, but that doesn't make it any less of a chore. And you're also going to need ether shards. For everything, which you get from killing monsters or disassembling equipment. I'm starting to see a pattern here. On the upside, this game has always had one thing going for it that I love in MMOs. Exploration. This game practically begs for you to explore, and with the addition of caves, the call for adventure is even greater. You can either use the portal to teleport down to different layers of the earth, or you can dig. You should probably just use the portal. Each layer down contains a higher tier of materials used for better equipment. And in these caves is also where you'll find most of the monsters. Combat is pretty much action combat. Left click to do a regular attack, right click to do a special-ish attack, and press E to do a more special-ish attack. And you can also just hold down the left mouse button to do a regular attack. Thank God I don't have to destroy my mouse clicking like a madman. There are currently several different weapons in the game. A sword, an ice staff, a fire bow, dual daggers, and a broadsword, wand, and sword and shield that I never got around to making because of the aforementioned grind. But that doesn't mean I didn't try. Once again, I was kind of enjoying myself. Killing monsters is actually pretty relaxing now that I think about it. The main feature I'm enjoying so far is the exploration aspect. It occasionally makes for some really cool discoveries, like finding a treasure chest, or this one time I found some ruins with a ton of bad guys. These made for some really cool stories and honestly made the whole thing rather enjoyable. I could also see this being a lot of fun with a friend, especially because some of the monsters hit really hard. Stupid plant monsters hit like a semi. If the SOE team can keep bringing this kind of fun to the game, I could see this becoming something pretty enjoyable. Maybe introduce some things like random dungeons to find, where players are encouraged to group up and fight stronger monsters for better loot. And maybe also finding a purpose for all of these cool things we can build. That'd probably be a good idea, because right now I don't see a point. Perhaps adding in a survival aspect? That's all the rage right now. You know what, why don't you just go ahead and make it Minecraft? You're like 98% there already.